Welcome back to another episode of the Gambling Goats podcast. He's Johnny, I'm Shea, and you know what? Big championship weekend ahead of us here, buddy. What are you thinking? What did you think of those last week's games, man? Big games.
You're putting me through a whirlwind because I thought we were going to talk about next week. I'm excited about. I don't even care for last week. What do I think about it? Greatest weekend of football I've ever seen. Didn't go my way. Pretty upset about it. Honestly, being on Green Bay side, that first drive, how good they were looking, getting like 10 yards of throw, each completion. You know, A.J. Dillon took him on the first time touchdown.
That's a nice hit.
Had him to get 2. He got taken out of the game. Had him plus Green Bay. You know, Green Bay had the game to lose, and they sure did. Special teams didn't show up. Crosby missed a field goal. He hasn't been his year. You know, I think, we need a young McPherson. And then that blocked punt return to tie to win. It's just garbage way. That's gambling. Can't say nothing about it. I'm over it now. Wasn't the day of. Followed by I had Buffalo and Stephon Diggs. Now, forget Stephon Diggs. They went to Davis 4 times and it worked out.
Yep.
But another amazing game. Heartbreaking if you were on the Buffalo side. What else can you say about it? 13 seconds left, 25 points in the last 2 minutes. It's unheard of. So you just got to lick your wounds and come back to the board, I guess.
No, what are your thoughts on that whole overtime rule? Because I know there's a lot of people upset with, how Josh Allen never even had a chance to get the ball. Chiefs came down and scored right away. Do you think both teams should get a chance with the football in overtime?
So hard to say. The rule is the rule. To just change it all of a sudden now because of one game that was that crazy. It just didn't go their way. Whoever won the coin toss was going to win that game.
Absolutely.
But, kudos to Mahomes, man. He's stepping up when he needs to, doing his thing with Kelsey, seeing, the field. I saw something about his heart rate is lowest right after the snap, which is crazy. So he's cool and calm in tight plays. And he sure was in that last 13 seconds leading them up to that field goal. Allen couldn't do anything about it. It's a really tough one, especially after last year. So, And again, Lambeau after last year, I just thought because of those emotions, there's no way. But that's the way she goes, man. Both teams fought really well. The Lambeau game was garbage for me, 13-10. That game in Kansas City was electrifying. Not a Tyreek Hill fan, but goddamn. So, great game. What can you say? Really exciting stuff to watch.
So I was actually on the over for that Green Bay game, and as soon as it was halftime, I was done with that bet. That was a dead bet.
To answer your question though about OT, do I think they need to change it? Yeah, definitely would change the rules, but you have to make that consensus at the beginning of the year. Yeah. So
I'm not saying right away. I'm saying, do they need to look into that for next year?
Yeah. Well, I say like hockey, give them some time on the board, battle it out as long as you can. Another, whoever has the most points. Yeah. If you're tied after that, I'd love to see some field goal kicks.
A kickoff.
A kickoff. I don't know. I think there's better ways to do it. 100%. And I think everyone's consensus is that. Using that word a lot today.
Earn their paycheck,
Yeah, so I don't like the way it's set up. It could be a lot more fun.
But what a game that was, man. You can't deny that's probably the best game in NFL history.
It's tough when your emotions are involved on it.
Oh, I hear you, but that just back and forth action like that, what a football game.
You know what? It's okay, though, because we put together such a good time this year that was all, play money. So I didn't lose actual deposit money, but we're going to make it back this week, Shea.
Oh, 100%, buddy. And diving into that, we got some big picks. I'm assuming we're both picking both games here. We're not just picking one game. You're picking both games. I'm picking both games.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because there's only the 2 games here. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go through the Bengals and Chiefs first, buddy. What are your thoughts on that game?
So, honestly, Mahomes has every right to win this game. He's had a dicey year. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be Buffalo coming in here. And Buffalo would probably beat the Bengals, just saying. But with this being said, I like the points they're giving us with 7 as a spread.
Yep.
I think both teams are going to ball out. I think Joey Burrow's got some ice in his veins as well.
Sure does.
And they've got a young, fast team. I think it's going to be really exciting if both defenses show up for each other. I'm on the Bengals +7 on this game, and my motions are out of it. I really like what Joey's been doing all season,
Yep.
and I'd like to see them go. I think that Kansas probably wins this game. I think it's really close, but so I'm taking the points. Would love to see Burrow ball out and just get this win. If for some reason Kansas City has another dicey game where they just don't show up for some reason, that's going to be hard to say though. With Andy Reid and the team that they have under them and how many times they've been in this situation. But I'm taking Bengals on the +7. And on a separate bet here, I'm taking Travis Kelce to get an anytime touchdown.
Oh, riding with the big fella.
I like what I've seen last game, man. He's really just finding open space, and Mahomes knows how to get him the ball.
So I was watching a more in-depth breakdown of that last couple drives there with the 13 seconds left and Kelce and Mahomes, and that was all Kelce drawing up both those plays. That little quick toss to Tyreek, and then he went out and blocked for him, and then he went over to Mahomes afterwards. He's like, "Hey, that seam's wide open. Just hit me on that seam." Right before the snap, you can hear Mahomes, "Kels, do it." Throws him that nice seam, gets him into field goal range. They tie the game. They eventually end up going on and win that game. I'm riding with you, buddy. I got the Bengals. I like Joey B. I think the dogs are going to be barking this week. The Bengals O-line kind of looked a little iffy last week. They were sacked 9 times against the Tennessee pass rush. That, you know what? They're good. I'll give them that. The Tennessee pass rush is pretty good at getting to the quarterback. But the Bengals can't let that happen versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs only got 2 sacks versus the Bills last week, so they're not an overly pass rush happy team. But Mahomes is Mahomes, and he's an all-star, dude. The guy is going to be generational talent for years to come. He plays in these big games, and you know what? He plays really well. One big factor for this Chiefs team is that they're gonna maybe possibly be without their star safety Tyrann Mathieu, as he left the game versus Buffalo with a concussion. So that's big for this Chiefs defense, where he would be the guy covering Jamar Chase down the field. So if you got a backup going against Jamar Chase, stretching that field, that's dangerous. That's leaving it wide open for explosive plays for our boy Joey B, who's the guy's clutch. He's 6-0 in playoff games dating back to his college career. 7 points is way too much after the Bengals beat the Chiefs back on January 1st, 34-31 in Arrowhead Stadium. So that's too many points for a team that just beat this team. Give me Joey B, big game Joe. I'm taking the Bengals plus the points. I like it. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, no, it's definitely Kansas City's game to lose. No pressure on the Bengals if they don't win this game, really. They've made it. They've had a great season and a great year, so they've got nothing to prove to anyone. Next game, buddy, we got Rams and 49ers. This is at Rams, I believe.
Yep, in LA. So the winner of this game plays in the same stadium twice, because that's where the Super Bowl is.
Oh, in that stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't think the Rams are going to give San Francisco a chance. They barely showed up last week. I didn't really like what I saw. They were only able to get 13 points. Their defense got 7 of them. I'm all over Rams 3.5 points. I'm also taking Cooper Kupp TD. I like OBJ. I really like OBJ, but Cooper Kupp's just been showing up every game. His connection with Stafford is definitely the best. In times of doubt, I think they're going to go there. I'm going to be looking at some runner backs too, but Rams -3.5 separate, and Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown. That's where mine's going to be on.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, that connection's been the most consistent all year long. They've been fine in the end zone. I think he led in receiving yards, reception touchdowns. Cooper Kupp was the number 1 wideout this season, with that new connection with Matthew Stafford in LA. I'm on the other side with you, buddy. I'm back in the San Fran. This 49ers defense showed up, besides that first drive versus Green Bay, where, let's be honest, I was watching that game, that first drive, I was like, Green Bay is going to walk this team. It's done. They were moving the ball.
I don't want to talk about it.
It was just, but San Fran figured out how to stop them. So that defense stopped Green Bay. They created turnovers on special teams. They blocked a field goal. They blocked a punt. They're hungry. And another thing with this San Fran team is they're the only team this season in postseason that have 5 players with 6 or more QB pressures, which is unheard of. So they're getting after the quarterback. Stafford's going to be running for his life this game. I don't think this O-line is going to be able to slow down this pass rush versus this 49ers front. And let's call a spade. Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay. He's 6-0. Versus the Rams since 2019, and 2-0, versus the Rams this season. So, and that last game was in Week 18, which clinched their playoff spot to get into the playoffs. Mind you, they were down 17-3 at halftime. So, this San Fran team's hungry. They've seen this Rams team. They're not scared of this Rams team. I'm going to get 3.5 points. I'm going to take the plus 3.5. The Rams almost fell apart against Brady. They let him come back, 25 points to tie it in the fourth quarter there. They got lucky with that win. I don't think they can get lucky against the San Fran team here. So give me San Fran plus 3.5.
Shea, man, you're really selling that to me. You're making me second question my own pick.
You know what? That's what I do, buddy. I'm a big stack guy. That's defense wins championships. You got to remember that.
Yeah, you know what? That does make a lot of sense, but I'm still going to stick out my pick. My pick is the Rams minus 3.5 with Cooper Kupp getting a touchdown. I think they can beat him by 3. It's their time to shine.
Well, if they beat him by 3, they still lose.
Well, they're going to win by more than a field goal. Are they going to win by more than a field goal? Yeah, it's a tough game. Real tough game. But I like Rams at home. I know that, with the Super Bowl being there, that's a lot of pressure.
That is a ton of pressure. The only team to win the Super Bowl at home last year was the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won it at home. Are we going to have back-to-back home Super Bowl winners? I don't see it. That's a tough one.
San Fran to win it this year after what they've done? Rams had an amazing year.
Yep.
Their defense is still very strong too.
I got 2 words for you though. Deebo Samuel.
Yeah,
that guy's a stud. He's a stud.
You know what? You know what? I like going against you.
All right, let's go head to head, buddy. I like it. I'm trying to convince you there. I tried to convince you.
I'm picking TDs too. I ain't just picking winners. So I got a lot to redeem myself from last week. I like the Rams here in LA. Everything to lose. My
prop picks will be coming out on Twitter. So, if you guys are going to be liking, subscribing, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Gambling Goats. You'll get more prop plays. You'll get injury news. You'll get, tweet at us your plays. Let us know what you're riding on tonight. If you're fading Johnny, if you're fading me, is that Bengals pick not a good pick? We'd like to know, we make money. So, follow us at your own might. It's probably the right play. Johnny,
we just like to have fun. Make some money this week, bud?
Let's make a lot of money this weekend, brother.
That's right.